So today I was checking out the Missing Persons Mysteries new video. It's about an airship. And anybody that knows this channel knows that I don't watch these for the mysteries. I'm always looking for, basically evidence of other things. And a lot of these stories that are told end up being something else. This one really wasn't, but it reminded me of something. This isn't even the start of it, of all the weirdness. But this story has had a big effect on how I look at the system, on how I've viewed a lot of different things over the years because of all the events that happened in such a short period of time. And because of the age that I was at. I was a very young kid. And that's where we'll start the story. I was 11 years old and it was the middle of the summertime. And my friend had been begging me to go out on his dad's boat onto Lake Erie. And I didn't go. And he asked me and kept asking. And then finally I decided to talk to my mom about it. My dad was at work and I talked to my mom and I said, hey, can I go out on this kid's boat with him and his dad? And she asked where we were going, what we were doing. And then we decided to check the weather. And the weather was perfectly sunny and calm all day. So I walked over to his house or rode my bike. He only lived a couple blocks away. And his dad geared up the boat and put everything in. And it was this really small fishing boat. And I mean small, probably 15, 17-foot boat. Not like a boat, with a cabin inside and all that. It was just a fishing boat. So we take it to the marina and drop it into Lake Erie. And Lake Erie is not what people think it is that don't live around here. It is not some lake, some local lake. It is like a sea or an ocean. So it's sunny out. It's totally calm. We drop the boat in and we start heading out. And we travel like 20 or 30 miles. We're going from way down in between Detroit and Toledo up into these Canadian channels. We had traveled a long way. We're out there fishing, having fun, checking stuff out. I was more interested in checking things out, just looking around and checking things out and seeing how far I could see. So this little boat is traveling on this little 2-stroke motor. We're traveling along and everything is cool and the motor just dies. But the weather is so cool that it's no big deal. So, he tries to start it and it doesn't start. And he tries to start it and it doesn't start. And I had a lot of experience with 2-stroke motors even at that age because I've got my first RM50 when I was 4 years old. So I told him, as somebody who had a lot of experience with 2-stroke motors, it's kind of weird coming from an 11-year-old, but I said, just leave it alone for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then try it again. So he actually did. Even after that amount of time, it wouldn't start. And immediately at that point, the sky turned completely black. And I mean black, to the point where I was starting to get really terrified. But it didn't stop there. The waves started to pick up. And when I could see the fear in his eyes, then I knew something was seriously up. Because people don't realize how high the waves get on Lake Erie. It is insane. So he gets on the radio. He had a CB. He gets on the radio and he starts calling the Coast Guard. And he's saying, look, I'm in this boat. We are dead in the water. And I've got kids in this boat. And I need help. And the Coast Guard goes, yep, where you at? Yep, blah, 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 blah. He tells these people all the details. And at that point, I totally relax. Even though it's getting really bad out there, right? I totally relax because help is on the way. But a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour and a half goes by, no one shows up. So he calls the Coast Guard again, and somebody answers, gives them all the information again. And they said, yep, got the information. We're on the way. no one ever shows up. And the waves are getting higher and higher, and the boat is just dead in the water, getting tossed around. And at that point, I was so terrified and ready for that boat to flip that I crawled up under the front of the boat. It was the only place to hide. And the reason why I think I was doing it is because I didn't want to see the boat flip, and I didn't want it to hit me. I wanted the air pocket, and I wanted to be able to get out when it flipped over. So no one shows up from the Coast Guard after hours and hours of getting tossed around. And he calls a third time. And at that point, no one even answers. Nobody answered. It's getting weirder and weirder. And at this point, he's still trying the motor, and it will not start at all. It is just dead. It won't sputter. It won't do anything. It just died, and it stayed dead. And I really believe at 11 years old that this is it. This is it. And something is going to happen. And right when there was no hope left, we see a boat, and we start waving it down in this weather. And it's a couple. It is a man and a woman boating through this storm, right? We wave them down, and they see the kids, and the wife is not having it. My friend's dad asked him if he could radio the Coast Guard again, and she was like, no, we are towing these people. So these people towed us like miles and miles and miles back to our marina. The whole time, he's trying to get that engine started so that they didn't have to tow us. It never worked. It never started. It never sputtered. It never did anything. We get back to the marina. The dad is standing in his boat talking to the couple that towed us back. He opened up his wallet, and I'll never forget it. He said, take the wife out for dinner tonight, and gave them like $100 for towing us back. And the guy didn't want to take it, but he made him take it. They unhooked us. They took off. As soon as they took off, the sky cleared up, and my friend's dad tried to start the motor one more time, and the engine started right up. And at that point, he shut up and quit talking about it and just never brought it up again. It was never brought up again. But the engine literally stopped dead for hours and hours. Would not start on the whole tow home. And then as soon as we were back at the marina, it fired right up. It was the most insane thing. I hopped out of that boat so fast, and you could never pay me enough money to get back in that boat again. Ever. And it was just the chain of events would go out with perfect weather. It goes dead, the engine. The weather goes black. The Coast Guard says that they're coming to help, but doesn't show up over hours with kids in a boat. I think about that now, and it's just like infuriating. It's almost like, was that even the Coast Guard on the radio? So you have all these factors, and then this motor is just dead until we're right next to land again, and then it fires up. If that couple would have not ran into us, something bad would have seriously happened. On a multitude of levels, it was one of the strangest experiences. And that's it for now. Look out for Charlie.